Hi guys, Mama Mita here. And so now today we are making the whole wheat loaf of bread. And we're using the whole wheat flour. We're not using the white flour, we're using the whole wheat. Now, I've got two types of flours today I'm using and two slightly different types of yeast. So we're going to be making two loaves. One is going to be on this machine and the other one's going to be over here. So the first one we're going to be doing, we're going to be using this flour that is from, it's 100% whole grain, whole wheat flour. Now it is the King Arthur. Now King Arthur flour is from Vermont and they have used a 100% hard red whole wheat flour. Now, there is a difference in this flour than the other flour because this flour, they're using the whole berry and they're just grinding it all up and that's what they're using. So you need more time with this bread, okay? So that's why we're getting into the 3 hours and 40 minutes, okay, for that bread. Now look at the numbers on this. Remember the other ones, they were 12. Okay, I think like 12.3 or 12.4. This one here has went up 13. Some of them get even higher than that. These are called strong flours, okay? So that's what we're using. Now, the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of water. And they want the water to be like about 105 to 110. But you don't really want it to go up there high because if the water's too hot, then it'll kill your yeast. If the water's too low, too cold, then it won't even, the yeast will not work, okay? So our first one, and this is our pan. We got our pan. Make sure our paddle's in. We're gonna put our water in first. This is our 1.5 cup of water. And then we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of butter, melted butter. And bring up. Butter. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to be using 4 teaspoons of sugar. So we got our 4 teaspoons of sugar, and I'm going to put that over in one corner of the pan. Now, hold on just a second. Let me see if I can lower this down so you can kind of see what I'm doing, but still yet see my face too. I shouldn't tell you this, but this thing is balanced up on a big pot. Well, I can't seem to find one of these tripod sticks that'll hold the thing up at the right level. So I need when it's up, then I go and put it down, but I can't seem to find one. Anyway, okay, so we've got the 4 teaspoons of sugar, and now we're gonna go with a 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I'm gonna put that in one corner, all right? Then we got the salt in. Now the next thing is gonna be the 4 cups of flour, all right? And I've already pre-measured this out. Okay, then I'm gonna make my little whale, and that's where I'm gonna put the yeast at. Now on the yeast, I am only using 1 teaspoon of this yeast. Now in this one over here, and the one that's from Vermont, I am gonna be using just 1 teaspoon, and it is just the instant yeast, the one that I showed you before. And that's it. So now I'm gonna take it over here and hopefully I don't get the machines mixed up. Okay, so we're doing the Vermont's. The Vermont's over here. Now we're gonna turn it on. All right, and we're gonna go for the whole wheat, and I'm gonna do a medium. So it's a whole wheat medium. And it's going. All right, so then now we're done with that. Now let's go move on to the next loaf. Now, here's our next loaf. Now the next loaf, we're going to be using the same thing, the 1.5 cups of water. Make sure that pedal's down there. Then I got the 2 tablespoons of butter. You want your butter to be soft. Should probably use a little spoon, but I didn't. Okay, all right. Then we're going to go with 4 teaspoons of sugar. A teaspoon and a half of salt. And then the 4 cups of flour. And now this flour I'm using the bronze chief flour. Now, nowhere on this bag does it tell you what number it is. And Bob's Red Mill does the same thing. And I don't like that because I want to be able to see things and try to get it accurate on. But this bread flour cost me $5.35 for 5 pounds. Now each pound is going to be $1.07, right? It has 18.5 cups to make 5 pounds. So according to that, I should be able to get at least 4 loaves of bread out of this. All right. Same technique. Spread it around. The 4 cups of flour. And then you do your little well in the middle. And your 1 little teaspoon of instant bread yeast. Anything to make us spend more money. Oh boy. That's okay, I'll use it though. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna put over in the other pan. And this is the Montana wheat. Number 2, medium low, and it's going. All right, then over here on this, now I'm going to bring the camera a little closer so that you can see how these are going in the machine, how they're doing. There's the first one right there. Now you see, you want to watch this because if you don't watch that and it comes out of the pan, then you're going to have a bread mess and it's going to more than likely burn and start smelling and stuff. So you want to make sure you keep an eye on that. I got busy making the loaves and I wasn't really watching that, but that's what you want to do. And so you wait, you're going to see. Now, to me, if I were just looking at that, I would think maybe it needs a little bit of water. But, you know, I did one the other day and I thought it looked a little wet and it actually was fine. So, you know, but it was a different flour. These breads can come out so different with the change in the flour that you're using or even the yeast. Now let me flip this around. Okay, so there you go. Let me work that in there. I'm right-handed, so I gotta get in here and work it. Yeah, work it, girl. Now, I visit my daughter, and she has her bread machine, and her bread machine has a lot more cycles. I only have 8. She had like 13. But there's bread machines out there that have like 17 cycles out. She has a pasta dough on hers. I don't have a pasta dough. But she's got some interesting settings on her machine. Okay, so now let's see how the other one's doing. Now it says just to put it in here. This is what it says. Just put it in here and let it go. That's what King Arthur says. Yeah, I hope so, King Arthur. I sure do, because I don't know. This looks dry to me. Now this is going to be another 3 hours and 38 minutes, or 37 now. And this one's going to be 3 hours and 34 minutes. Now you see, okay, so now it's starting to look like it's coming together now, like it's picked it pretty much all off the bottom. And that's what they said. They just said to put it in there, dump it in there, and let it go. Oh my gosh. Okay. I hope my girls can do this now because, you know, I mean, Daisy Mae, she's almost 25 years old. No, Susie Q over here, look at this. Yeah, she's trying, but I don't know. I hope they can do it. I mean, these machines are, oh, jeez. I'm just trying to keep it controlled so it doesn't go over the side and make a mess in the machine, because I don't want to see no mess in the machine. You know, then I gotta get in there and clean all that out. But I'm telling you, this one here really, this to me, it looks dry. Boy, my hands would suffer terrible if I had to work that with my hands. Well, looks like it picked it all up, pretty much, and I guess we'll see. To me, it just seems like I should add like a tablespoon of water. Let's see how this one is. This one seems way better than the other one. But it is two different types of flour. I kind of think this one's okay, and I can shut the lid on it. This one's my only one that I'm slightly concerned with. I guess I'm just going to shut the lid and see how it goes. So we'll be back here in 3 hours and 35 minutes to see if we got a bread or do we have a crater top. All right, guys. What can I say?
Now the bread is finished.
You know, we'll just wait and see what happens. Okay. Now, I'm still, you know, I'm not really happy with these two loaves. I mean, I haven't opened them inside yet, but they don't look so great. They look stiff and hard. Look at this. This is what I was telling you when I was doing it earlier, that I thought it needed a little bit more water to it, like maybe 2 tablespoons a little bit, because it seemed like it was a little dry. Now, the bottom's not that bad, but let's see what it looks like inside, you know, because I'm curious now. This one here is the one I just showed you was the Montana, okay? And now this one is the Vermont one, the Vermont wheat, okay? Now, this one's a little better. And see, this one wasn't the one I was complaining about that I said that looked really kind of dry and I was kind of worried about it. It's the other one, okay? So let's see how the first one looks, because I'm really curious about how this is going to come out with this bread. I'm sure it tastes fine, but it just, whoa, it looks really, I feel like, do I need a chainsaw? really packed. Now, I think that my other loaf that I made the other day, using the basic, not the whole wheat setting, I used the basic, but I used the whole wheat flour, not the same whole wheat flour, the Winco flour. And I think it is better. I think it's softer, it's nicer. This one, okay, let me lift it up. Look at that. Now, I mean, it's probably very eatable. I mean, it probably tastes great, but it just seems like it's really dense. Like I don't know about that one, you know. I just think that the other one that I made is a lot better. So let's cut this and see how it does. I'm gonna make it extra Texas toast. Okay, let's see. There you go. Now, that's that one. Now let's see how this one comes out. This one seems like it's a little less dense. You could cut it a little bit more easier on this one. Oh yeah, this is a little bit. See, that's why I'm thinking that it needs a little bit more water, like at least a couple more tablespoons. Oh yeah, it's way better to cut than the other one. The Vermont, the King Arthur one is a lot easier to cut. The Montana one is not. Oh, this is better. Okay, this is better. I probably would still maybe add like 1 tablespoon. If I was using the King Arthur, I would add 1 more tablespoon of water. But the other one, I would add maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons because I just think it's a little really rough on it. It's like, that's my personal opinion. That's what I do. Anyway, that's what I would do, okay? So let's see how it tastes. It's very good. But the one I made the other day, and I used the basic, I do like it way better because this is kind of crummy, and once it tends to like fall apart, like if you like move, it's almost like what crumble up. That's why I said I think it needs more water. But you know, it's a recipe, yeah. That's the way it turned out. Now the one I did was not like that, was not crumbly. It held together really well, and it makes nice sandwich bread. But it was a basic setting. It was not the whole wheat. And it actually cut off time too. Like it was a lot less time than this one here. Well, you guys, you know, there you go. At least we did the whole wheat, right? Okay, so if you guys like this video today, please give me a thumbs up. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you did. That would help me out a lot. Now, also, I want to thank you for watching my channel, and we will see you next time. Bye now.